Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do each week, we're going to talk about, gentlemen, the round of NRL that's just been played. But firstly, how are you both tonight?
Fantastic. It's great to be in the winner's circle.
I'm over the winner's circle.
Yeah, I know you are.
Stop talking
You're
about
not
the winner's
coming back.
circle.
How convenient.
There's no such thing as a winner's circle.
That's right.
Yeah, but in a couple of weeks, if he wins again, it'll be the winner's circle again.
I don't know what you're talking about. Tom, how are you?
Well, if I could stop coughing, I'd be great.
Oh, you're still coughing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right.
So we have just had announced we haven't just announced, but there has been just announced the New South Wales State of Origin team.
Yep.
So before we go into the NRL, I thought we'd quickly talk about that and just have a chat about what you think of the changes.
Well, there's no changes. That's the thing. There is no changes.
But there are some omissions that should be there.
Yes. Oh yeah, but what Fred it was on the news just as we came in that he's not changed the list, with the exception that Tarek Sims could be out and Nathan Cleary could be out.
Yeah.
He hasn't suggested what he'll do with Nathan Cleary if he's out, but he said that Clemmer has been spoken to, and that if Tarek Sims doesn't get off his charge, then Clemmer will come in, and basically he's giving loyalty to a team that did so well.
Tarek Sims
That was
should
his
be
decision.
Don't you find his loyalty very subjective?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, considering what happened last time.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm actually quite frustrated with that. Actually, I think Clemmer should be in the team. Full stop.
Absolutely.
I think he's the best Australian-born prop in the comp at the moment.
Who epitomises what New South Wales Blues should be all about.
Yeah. He'll go out there and if Freddy asks him to play for 80 minutes, he'll play for 80 minutes and he will hit the ball up every set of six.
Yeah.
Sometimes twice if he has to, because that's the player that he is.
Yeah.
To leave him out of that side is ridiculous.
So how can he be so subjective when it comes to loyalty now, when he was nowhere near that? There was no loyalty in the team in the first game, and admittedly they lost. The second team won. But then you take out someone like Clemmer, you run the risk of Cleary not being picked. Or sorry, not being able to play.
Yeah, well that's the
we've
biggest.
got Clint Gutherson coming in as 18th man.
Yeah. Seems an odd.
I think I don't understand that either. Like, it looks like Cleary is out. So I think this is a New South Wales doing a Queensland on Queensland smoke and mirrors.
So you saying that they will put Gutherson into Cleary's place?
Well, I was just listening to someone saying that.
All week we've been hearing Mitchell Pearce is going to come in as. So why would you?
Not
put
even
Mitchell,
named on the.
No.
I was hearing that Wade Graham to play 5'8" and Gutherson to come onto the bench. But I think that's a silly move anyway.
Well, it is, because Wade is not a 5'8".
No,
he did well,
yes.
because I love him as a player. I think he's fabulous,
and he has huge value off the bench.
Well, but I'm not sure starting him at 5'8" is the way to go. I'd put a real 5'8" in.
Well, the thing is, Jack Whiten plays 5'8", and Clint Gutherson, I think his best position is centre. So, perhaps that's the way that it'll go. But I don't understand. I don't understand the Clemmer omission.
Yeah.
And I was happy when Freddie made all the changes, and I think I made the comment, it's Freddie's team, he's got to live or die by it. But when you make 7 changes, and I know that you're saying these guys bought into your philosophy, but do you then not make changes when you've got the whole state to pick from, and a bloke like David Clemmer's fit?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused by that.
So do we read by this that Mitchell Pearce will not be playing State of Origin in Game 3?
Thank goodness, yes.
And Latrell wasn't considered again.
Yeah. I didn't think he had a good enough game.
No, I thought he would have been
well.
threatening.
He played a good club game. He needed to really step up.
Threatening, I think.
But then, if he really stepped up, who would you have put out?
That's right.
If you're sticking with
what?
You
I said halfway through the Raiders game, I said, this is why we need Whiten in the State of Origin game. And he came out in the second half and an absolute shocker.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Anyway,
very
he's got some big mistakes in him. That's the problem.
Does. And Ponga's out for
Queensland. And now they've got 5 fullbacks.
I'm just trying to
choose from.
Just trying to find the Queensland squad. I'm sorry, I can't find it at the moment.
They've got five fullbacks to choose from now.
That's all right. Queensland loyalty. Yeah. We lose a game, we'll just drop players. Where's all the media uproar about that? Well, I hear the pins dropping.
Well, it's probably happening in Queensland.
Yeah.
And none of us actually live in Queensland.
I don't think it's making any difference to them. I think that they're just, Queensland loyalty only extends as far as they win. If they don't win, they don't change.
All right.
They'll change. So I actually think though that bringing Corey Norman into the Queensland team's a very big threat.
Sure.
I think
for New South Wales.
Yeah, I think he's a very good player, and I think he will.
Where will he play though?
He'll play 5'8", and Munster will probably play fullback. I think.
Which leaves who in 7?
Still Cherry Evans.
Oh, Cherry. That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a stronger team than because there is.
Well, Munster made his name in fullback.
Yeah,
And he was
absolutely.
really good in fullback.
And put Kalen Ponga in that team with Corey Norman and Cameron Munster, and it's a better team.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
but they'll miss Kalen Ponga. He was their best player, I think, for the last 2 weeks, for the last 2 rounds.
Why don't you go on to NRL from the Sidelines Facebook page and make some comments about what you think about the New South Wales team for Game 3 or David Clement being left out?
Indeed. And
Queensland team for that.
I have a question without notice.
Yes.
I'm
Steve.
scared.
No. And I'll throw this out there to our viewers
Has this
as well.
got anything to do about where to buy jerseys?
No. Darren, look, I'll come in and see you, and if all our cards are gone, because that's Darren from Guy's Stuff in Windsor and Narellan.
Yep.
Feel free to order your NRL memorabilia or pick up all kinds of merchandise at the stores, or order online, of course.
Of course.
Anyway, I'll come in and see you, Darren, and we'll see how we're travelling with that. Steve, no, question without notice.
Drop me an invoice to buy it.
Which we can discuss a little bit later. I want to know from you guys, I think the best players to never play Origin.
To have never played Origin.
Origin.
You've put us on the spot.
I don't think we can come up with those now.
Oh, I've got a couple.
Are we talking about Australian players or any of them?
No, Australian players. Have to be
So
Australian
players who could have qualified, not players who
have
a lot like
qualified
Sonny
and
Bill
never...
Williams and Sam Burgess.
And never played.
You know the first one that comes to mind.
Nathan Merritt.
No, Nathan Merritt played.
Nathan Merritt played in Latrell.
was
by
forgettable.
Greg Inglis.
He was a superstar at State of Origin.
He was a speed bump.
Yeah, go on.
John Sutton.
Yeah.
John Sutton would be number 2 on my list, yes. Or number 1 or 2, yeah.
Mitchell
number
Orbison.
No,
Should
he's still playing. He can't.
Yeah, he
can't
should have played.
No, if he's still playing. Oh, so is
Well, so is John Sutton. So I don't know what your rules
I don't
are.
think. I
Change
don't
your
think.
rules.
Yeah, but
Seriously.
John Sutton.
Okay, so who are
So
you thinking
John
of?
Sutton was playing 5'8" in the years when we were getting smashed and we needed a 5'8", and they never picked him.
Yeah. Okay, so who?
I think Nathan Blacklock was very unlucky.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
And do you remember Darren Britt?
Yes, his son's playing for South Australia.
yeah.
Yeah. So 9 tests for Australia, never got a run for New South Wales.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, they'd be my 3. So if anyone out there wants to throw a name at us,
Yeah, go for it.
But I think those 3 players are probably extremely unlucky not to have played.
In particular, Blacklock.
Oh, he was sensational,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
He was superb.
Absolutely. Him and John Sutton, they would have had an impact at State of Origin level.
Sure.
And look, yeah. Anyway, you know what I think? I think John Sutton should be picked now. But anyway,
Yeah, well, he's over it now. He huffs and puffs and blows and can't win games for you. Jeez, he's huffing, I'm telling you.
yeah, but he's the only one trying at the moment.
I'll give you that.
All right, let's go on to round 15. Gentlemen, it's round 15.
Yeah.
There are 10 weeks to go.
Not so loud.
Regular season.
It looks like we'll all be there. Well, we will.
Yeah, well, my team will be. Yours will too.
Can you believe that South have lost 4 in a row and haven't moved a position?
Yeah, no. That shows how bad the rest of the...
Well, exactly.
It shows what a great start you guys got off to.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I know.
right. That's right.
All right, let's go on to the match of the round on Thursday afternoon.
For the
Thursday evening.
Tigers.
Yeah, an old classic, this one. Old traditional.
Old classic. Old is right.
If I never see a game like that again, I'll be happy.
I got to tell you, I was halfway through this game and I thought, at half time, I thought, this
Are you going to
can't
tell
be
everyone
worse.
what the game is?
No, because it was embarrassing.
Come on, get on with it.
All right, 14-9, Tigers beat South at Bankwest Stadium Ice Rink. Honestly, it was such a bad game. I thought this couldn't get any worse at half time, and
And then it did.
by full time it was even worse. And
Your team was
stats.
oh, they were terrible. South were pathetic. The Tigers were bad as well. I mean, nobody could hold the ball. It seemed like no one could get any footing. It honestly looked like they were playing on ice.
Yeah. Well, the Roosters play next week in the same place, and they've talked about shortening the grass and they've got some kind of stuff they can put on that is a dew remover or something like that.
Yeah.
So let's hope that they do, because that the conditions have been bad, and apparently it's got to do with the fact that configuration of the ground, that it's a smaller space, and that the condensation collects more easily or something onto the grass there.
But
I'm not
you
sure.
know, we've actually been playing football for 100 years. You would think by now they've worked out how to have grass that doesn't have these issues.
Could have put a roof on
They
it.
do. The ground at Brookvale doesn't have those issues. We've got
No,
different
it's all
issues.
sand, that's why. The whole thing's sand and grit. Look, it was a terrible
The
game.
sea breeze blows it all away.
Correct.
Now-
so do you really think it was a horrible game, Steve?
I do.
Is that just because your team didn't win?
Probably. No, I thought it was a horrible game. I thought the Tigers were pretty poor as well. Now, you've got some stats, have you? To back up?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Look, I actually didn't think it was that bad a game. I mean, I know that the surface was perhaps not flash, but I thought the effort from both teams was there. It was just the execution that was poor. I mean, you know, both
So how do you
70s.
categorise a bad game then?
Yeah.
Well, that was end to end, side to side. I mean,
Yeah, but it was only end-to-end, side-to-side, and close in the score because neither of them were playing very well.
It was a low-scoring game. There weren't a lot of points in the game either.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, South were on top until Silly George did what he did.
Oh my goodness,
And listen, I'm gonna put my hand up now and say that was dumb.
Oh, it's
And
worse than dumb.
See you later, George.
yeah.
Because honestly, that's just unacceptable.
I,
I get the accidents where you scrape across somene's face
That was intentional, and he lingered.
yeah,
You know,
and
it
he was
wasn't like he
behind another
swiped.
player. There's another player here, and he's reaching over.
Because Farah got up and blamed Damien Cook.
Oh, did he?
He thought it was Cook's fault.
I'm actually quite surprised it wasn't sent off.
Oh, it should have been sent off. Honestly,
Well, look.
Should have
Do
been.
do we have to wait until somebody gets their eye ripped out of their socket?
Yeah, I look.
Because that was bad. That wasn't.
Yeah, but you know what? The camera angle made it worse because the
Why?
camera
Because
angle
it showed it.
The camera angle was looking at from the top of the guy's head, and it looked like it was down to his second knuckle, and obviously it
No.
was. You know, but
But it was the fact that he lingered. He didn't. It wasn't a wipe across the eyes.
No.
It wasn't a put down.
He
and
put his hand
pull up.
down, and then he decided, let's push a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was two movements.
Yeah. No, sorry, just on that, I think teams, when we talk about the surface, I know I've gone back a half a step. I don't think teams have remembered how to play wet weather football.
Sounds are normally pretty good at wet weather football, though.
But you weren't that tight. You
No,
kept trying the same things over and over again.
But everything was wrong with the Rabbitohs the other night.
Yeah,
they
just-
just were never going to win that game.
So you're saying the Tigers were not good, the Rabbitohs were just that bad?
No, I thought the Tigers were. They hung in the competition.
Okay.
I don't think the
Yeah,
Tigers
yeah.
are any good at either.
Well, I hope I'm right in that they're hopeless because we're playing next week.
Yeah.
But
they were terrible.
look, Cheekham found another way to win a game.
Yep.
Right in the buzzer.
Glad we let him go.
Yeah. Did you seriously?
Yeah, we brought him as a junior off Brisbane, and he was just a fringe first grader. That's all. Like he couldn't crack it, mind you. Anyway,
With all the players you talk about leaving,
I know.
we've had the double decade of dominance.
no, because they all played at the same time.
Anyway, look, as far as I'm concerned, George is done. He's done his dash with me, and I'm over it. And South have picked up Jaden Sewer, which I think is a great buy for South.
Great name, isn't it? Jaden Sewer.
Great for the Rabbitohs.
But listen, don't bully people because of their names. Come on, you can't.
They're bullying them because they went to Souths.
Hey,
And they came from the Broncos to South.
a great replacement for George, let me tell you. Timely. Let's move on to Wynn Stadium, where St George Illawarra beat North Queensland 22-14.
And they only won it near the end, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no, by half time I think they had.
Yeah.
They were coming back into it.
I thought that. But did you like that game though?
I like it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular. I didn't think it really met my expectations.
Met your expectations.
I have high expectations.
From a South supporter, that's pretty impressive.
What about the hit on Michael Morgan?
That was fine.
Which is the one that Tarek Sims is in trouble for.
Yeah, it was fine. There was
I actually
nothing wrong with
thought.
it.
I actually thought that the tack that he hit him, and then there was a ricochet of Michael Morgan's head against his shoulder.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he led with his shoulder.
No.
So I reckon he might get away with that because.
And
because
not
of
only that, can we start looking at these things at full speed?
Yeah.
Whenever you play it that slow, there's always going to be a few seconds difference before it hits him, depending on how slow you play it. Play it at speed. If we expect our players to tackle, and we each support a team, and we want our teams defending like that,
Yeah.
Yep.
there's always going to be the occasional one that goes half a second longer,
Yep.
and that's it. I thought there was nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah. You reckon he'll get off?
I worry they'll try and make an exception over this.
Example,
We've got to
okay.
protect the kickers,
Yeah.
but
Dave Clemmer's certainly hoping so.
Oh, look.
although how good would it be to see the two brothers playing State of Origin on opposite sides?
Yeah, belt each other. They probably just backyard football.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Corbin.
Corbin's in the team as well, of
Well,
course.
Corbin's in Queensland.
Yeah. See that?
Did he get picked? I don't think he got picked.
I don't know. I don't think he got picked, Steve.
Oh,
I
didn't
think
he?
he
I
got
thought
picked.
you.
No. Of all the changes they could have made, Kevy didn't listen to us and pick Corbin.
So hang on, how come he played for Fiji the other day and now he's playing for Queensland?
Because you're allowed to play for a second-tier nation.
Second tier. Right, that's right. Yeah, I do forget.
And if you're Queensland,
That's right, Petro.
everywhere.
That's why Petro was
It's
late.
Queensland's everywhere, man.
Yeah,
Man.
that's right. That's right.
So yeah, look, it was a good game. I was impressed with St George. They came from behind to win that game. I didn't think they were going to do it, but
I liked the game between the two coaches. That was good.
the arguments later, yeah, the banter.
I mean,
Time to zip
how
it.
Paul
No.
Green can defend after what Josh Maguire got away with.
And gets
I mean,
away
it's
with
just
yeah.
reach. Seriously, it's just reach.
I think one of our regular viewers, Sally, posted a video. Did anyone catch up with that? It
No,
was
I haven't
how
seen that.
Jeremy Lattimore got to the game.
I didn't see. No.
I must
Tell
admit,
us.
it was a bit funny. Thanks for posting it, Sally. Apparently, he was on his way to the game in traffic, and he's saying he moved 400 metres in an hour,
Yep.
and he's gone right. Stuff this. Parked his car on the side of the road and decided he'd try and hitch all the way
But
down.
didn't he go backwards before he
Yeah,
went forward?
yeah. So he's gone the wrong way, and then he's stopped. He's chopped on the back of a motorbike and got to the game an hour before kickoff. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I'm
that
telling
is
you.
funny. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Adelaide Oval, where the Melbourne Storm beat the Roosters 14-12.
This was a good game.
This was a good game.
This was a really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not without its mistakes for sure, but this was a good
Yeah,
game.
it wasn't the classic that you'd expect of the Roosters and the Storm,
Yeah.
but it was tough. It was close. I liked it. I thought it was a good
There was
game.
a comment made throughout the game that the loser of this game for the last 2 years has gone on to win the grand final.
You betcha.
You happy with that one, Tom?
Sure am. And look, I mean,
Well, hang on. How does that compare with what they're saying is now that Melbourne Storm are out in 6 points in front, they did that in 2012 or something,
Yeah,
and also won
yeah,
the grand final.
yeah.
So
yeah, you can
Oh,
read it
yeah.
the way you like. So look, the Melbourne Storm are on top 6 points ahead for a reason. They're the most consistent team going, but they also the team with the least injuries over the season.
yeah, and the views
Yeah,
less players. Yeah.
And that so I take a lot of heart out of that. We put Latrell Mitchell in at 5'8", and he was apparently he was defending as a centre,
Yeah.
and then he was roving as a 5'8", and that's the beauty of Trent Robinson. He wants players to play out of position all the time so he can fill gaps.
Yeah, but did it work?
Well, when I think how many tries that the Storm should have scored, I think it did, because I
Yeah.
thought their defence in the second half was exceptional,
Yeah, but
absolutely exceptional.
the Roosters also bombed 2 tries.
Oh, absolutely, there's no doubt
Blatant,
about that.
I mean,
Oh, look, Brett Morris, I love Brett Morris to death, but Tupou was always there,
yeah,
and all he had to do was throw the ball. It was a metre out of the line,
Yeah.
and he would have scored. We would likely have won the game, and we bombed a couple of other ones as well.
Cordner. bombed one,
Yeah. Look, but that was defence. That was good defence.
Yeah.
And as I posted on Facebook, the evil genius Cameron Smith, that is so blatant, and he walked off the mark in order to get that penalty. That should have been
Yeah.
he should have been penalised for doing that, or at least the ball should have gone back.
Yeah, but you
He
know what?
shouldn't
That
have got
happens
that
4 or
penalty.
5 times a game.
But
and
he
it bugs me.
engineered that.
Yeah, of course he did.
Absolutely engineered that,
Yeah.
and so you've got to give him credit for that. But I can't stand the fact that he can get away with it. And then he has to hide to complain to the person he stepped on Just saying, oh, mate, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? And he keeps his straight poker face. Oh, that's what you can't stand about Cam Smith. Sorry, Sally. It was genius, but it was evil genius.
Any player in their prime, I would have taken Cameron Smith, let me tell you.
Yeah. But look, in the end...
In the Manly jersey, wow.
In the end, a team that has been totally having to scramble every week, lost by 2 points against a team that is fair enough up the top, but I don't know how much better they can play. That's my
No, and I guess that's the one thing I took away from it, that I didn't think either team was spectacular.
No.
And look, there's a couple of teams that are playing out of their skin at the moment, and they're not really in the top 8. Although Manly's probably one of them that are getting close to it.
Yeah. Look, the Roosters have got Jared Waerea-Hargraves, inspirational forward, to come back, and then they've got Keary to come back, and everything was working when Keary was playing that left side. And I think you can pinpoint the 4 losses we've had out of 5 with Keary going down. It started with the Knights, I think, and so when he comes back, I would expect that we're going to get a lot better. And then we'll get Jake Friend back soon.
Do we know if Vunivalu has been cited for stepping on?
Caught in his hand? Yeah. I didn't hear.
I had a look at that. I didn't really think he did it intentionally, because I didn't notice that he was actually looking to find a hand to step on.
I read something about it, but didn't. Went over about it. But look, it was an entertaining game, and what people expect in Adelaide these days, tight contest.
Seabus Super Stadium, where the Sea Eagles beat Gold Coast Titans 30-12.
To make me the only one in the winner's circle.
Oh, forget about the winner's circle.
I've got it. You know what? You guys absolutely smashed me last year.
Absolutely, take it.
You smashed me last year.
And
when my team was not doing so well.
I'm right with you, Brian. If you're in the winner's circle, then you take it.
That's right. I will. It's funny, Steve. I think this is the first game. I know. Actually, it's the Titans. Both times we played the Titans. I think what you want is for your team to compete for 80 minutes every game.
Yep.
That's. I think if you're a coach, that's really the goal.
Yep.
You can work on defense, attack, attitude, but if your team is competing for 80 minutes, you're going to be in every contest and you're going to win a fair whack of them. Manly were in that for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is, from a supporter's perspective, frustrating but very pleasing. You still have a big win.
Well, the stats, there's virtually nothing in the stats, so obviously the momentum swung.
100%. The first half was... The first half, I thought we could put 50 on these guys. They had nothing. And then there were a couple of interesting refereeing decisions, and I don't know, for some reason the wheels just fell off, and the Titans
they just started to cruise. To me, that's what it looked like. They were just starting to take it easy. They didn't feel they had to push too hard.
Exactly.
And you got to worry. You go to Gold Coast and you think, oh, it's just the Titans. That's what you got to be careful of.
No, well, they'd already had 20 points on them by then, so it was okay.
And that's what I was going to say.
At half time, you start thinking, oh, well, it's only the Titans. So.
And I was going to say that because it's not like they got 30-26 or something. It's still 30-12. So they really didn't have to come out of second gear for it.
Look, and one of those tries was just sheer fluke. I can't remember if it was the first or the second one now. Brian Kelly's thrown a pass to no one, like 7 metres behind the defensive line, and everyone's running back for it. And Tyrone Roberts has picked it up, sprinted 15 metres, and flipped it away to Sammy, who scored. And I've just gone, what?
I tell you what, Tyrone Roberts is the one shining light in that team.
He is.
He's come back from England.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just picked up where he left off. He's really playing good football. Sirenin 100 games and he scores 2 tries.
Yep, should have been 3. Yeah. I don't know where the third one was, but he should have scored it.
You would have just found him one anyway.
Yeah, just thrown in the ball. Yeah. No, he was very, very good.
So the Eagles just seem to be humming along.
I tell you, Ruben Garrick, Rookie of the Year. He just...
who
else?
I'm not sure.
Who else?
Who else? You'd show your bias. We'd have to think.
I'd have to think about it. But
seriously, he's done nothing wrong. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, forgot it was his
Sherry.
He's pretty good,
nah.
Britt Nakora. No, Sherry's not up there.
Nah.
Britt Nakora, though, I think he's been sensational.
I think.
By the way, do you realise that you beat me the other day in Supercoach?
Yeah, well, I beat everyone. It doesn't matter.
Well, you don't because you're not on top, but
The only
you beat
thing
me.
you don't beat people in is humility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go you mighty Seagulls. Anyway, continue on.
Alright, McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Newcastle Knights beat the Brisbane Broncos 26-12. I picked the Broncos here because I honestly thought they were going to perform better than what they did.
Yeah,
But that was
well,
before-
for him.
That was before you put a fullback into 5'8", and you put a 5'8" into fullback, and you shuffle around.
You check the team list before you tip.
Oh,
You
no, I
change
don't.
your tip.
I pick
Yeah,
three
but
or
you can
four.
always change your tip.
Yeah, I know, but I do it 3 or 4 days out.
I have a confession to make. If anyone out there is I'm in 3 footy tipping comps.
You're a Broncos
Oh,
fan.
this is your confession, yes.
My confession. My confession is that I'm in 3 footy tipping comps, and so I go through the NRL from the sideline ones, put in my tips, and obviously had Newcastle and the Panthers, and thought you ripper. I think I've got. I nearly went joke around, but I thought I better not. Then I've gone to the next comp I'm in and just copied the tips across. Bang, 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 bang.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've gone to the third comp that I'm in, which is the only one that has any monetary incentive involved. And I've just gone bang, 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 like just home, way, home, way, home. And I've accidentally clicked on the Broncos and the Warriors.
And the Warriors.
Needless to say, the Knights. At 12-0, I actually logged in. I was making dinner at that time. At 12-0, I've gone, you ripper, I'll watch the rest of this game. I'll just log in and check what buffheads picked the Broncos. Oh, it was me!
Look,
How terrible.
Well, no Ponga.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, and
That's good.
that's the amazing thing. So you've got to take your hat off to Newcastle because I tell you what, they are playing well.
Yep, Pearce is doing a great job at that club. And Clemmer had a good game too, I think.
Of course.
So what do you think of the changes made to the Broncos team?
Darius Borders he just shouldn't be there, and sadly. I mean, it's sad to say,
He's
but
making a couple of blatantly obvious bad
and
mistakes.
he's terrible in defence. He just doesn't want to put his body on the line. Now, I didn't play the number of games he's played. I've never played that game, but you know, the time comes, they say, where you just don't want to put your body on the line. Unfortunately, sadly, he's reached that point, I think.
But not only that, there was a kick-off to the Broncos, and he took the ball on the dead ball
That's
line.
right. Yeah, because
And
he
he
had
had
to jump in the
up to
air,
get
and it
it.
would have hit the fence
Easily out.
Yeah.
All he had to do was actually, in fact, touch it. Foot over the line, touch it, and it's out anyway.
Yeah.
So, is he? I don't know. I can't explain it. But he's gone from what used to be a spectacular player to someone who maybe should be starting to look at retirement.
Well, yeah. Went from being defensively very, very good, probably one of the better defensive fullbacks
Yeah.
that's played in the last 10 years, to being, always in the right spot at the right time to score, to being, it's like heart's not in it.
No.
And it's sad to see. It really is, because he's been a great servant. But
Yeah, mind you, in saying that, he has had periods like this throughout his career where you just looked at him and you went, what? So, I wouldn't put it past him to bounce back and then...
But he's 31 or something.
Yeah, well, that counts against you, doesn't it?
31's not that old in this,
It is when a big bloke's trying to rip your head off.
But also,
Yeah.
if your form is down, it's harder to come back at the
Yeah,
at the
no,
age of
but look
31.
at players like, Cooper Cronk, Cameron Smith, they're 34s, 35s.
Darius Boyd's
Billy
now Cooper
Slater.
Cronk.
No, he's not. But what I'm saying is at 31, you're not that,
Sure.
you might only have a few years to go, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't be playing that poorly.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't think he's past it. I just think he's in a really bad spot. And I think if the Broncos had any other options, they would take them.
And
I'm
so
sure
it
they've
looks
got plenty
like,
of options, but he's the
Well,
captain of the club.
I don't think they're doing the halves though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
and so it looks like the Broncos are going to re-sign Lodge and Pangai Jr. Because they've now let Sewer go, so they've got some more money to be able to sign him up. So
Yeah, and
Good luck.
yeah, I'm glad we didn't go for Pangai, because I think he's just been inconsistent. He may be,
Yeah,
he
but
may
I-
be a world beater next year. But
someone can turn him into being consistent. A couple more years, I think it'll be spectacular.
we'll buy him then.
Yeah, and there's
As you will.
not much to say about Newcastle other than they were very, very
Yeah.
good.
They were very good.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
the Eagles. They're just humming along.
Yeah, they're one of the teams that I could say right now. they're playing extremely well, and they're one of the form teams. I still don't believe they're going to win. They can win the grand final,
No,
but they're doing okay.
no, they're a couple of years off. That's okay.
TAO Stadium in in Darwin, saw Parramatta Eels 22 beat Canberra Raiders 16
Wow.
after Raiders led 16-0.
And didn't fire another shot after 30 minutes. Just ridiculous.
It was.
And they asked Ricky, and he said, "That's the worst game I've seen in many years." He said, "We only played for 30 minutes." And he said, "I know what the problem is." And they said, "What is it?" And he said, "I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to talk it over the players." Apparently, a lot of them are going to Bali for a week
When?
on their holiday because they've got a bye week and they're going away to Bali for a few days.
Really?
So maybe their heads are in Bali.
Mines are in another spot.
But why would you do that halfway through the year?
No, I get it.
Refresher.
No.
Just
Look,
a refresher.
But if you're going to do that, take them away to camp somewhere where they can get away. Bali?
Dude, it's a holiday. It's not.
And there's a million people over there who are going to have cameras. Focus,
Yeah, they're not going to do anything stupid. They're football. Oh damn! I couldn't say that with a straight face.
Mate, take them by a lock gate somewhere and let them go crazy, but don't let them out and don't let anyone in there with a mobile phone. Seriously, don't go to Bali. Okay, let's go on to...
No.
Yeah, so we should talk about this.
Why? Parramatta, and I didn't pick them, and no one did. And why would you?
Look, Parramatta, I mean, both teams had patches in that game, either end of the game, where I thought they were really, really good to watch. And Parramatta, when they're on, are really good to watch. I really like watching them. Yeah.
When they're on. Yeah.
Moses scored an individual try, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think Nathan Brown coming back to the team has added a lot to their forward pack.
Yeah.
Ferguson had a terrific game. A sensational try. Jeez, he's got some pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, for a big man.
85 metre. Yeah, Jesus.
I thought Manu Ma was pretty good.
Yeah, again,
I like him.
barging
I like him. He's. Yeah. I like the players when and it's I'm not. It's not an insult, but I like the players that are a little bit crazy. So you look at him and you go, yeah, you're not all there. Like Dane Gagai is one of them. You put a Queensland jersey on him and he looks like he actually wants to physically run through brick walls.
Like Billy Moore. Put a Queensland jersey on
Billy Moore. Yeah, and I think Manu Ma's a bit like that. Like he's just this. Tarek Sims is another one, just angry individuals.
So is that the solution for South? Put Gagai into a Maroons jersey first, and then put another one
and then just before he runs out, rip it off and put the South jersey on.
I really like that post we put up the other day.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to Mount Smart Stadium where, speaking of spectacular runaway tries, Penrith Panthers beat the Warriors 19-18 after Golden Point.
Wow.
And the try for Naden in this was spectacular.
I actually missed that. This was a spectacular because of its errors. The whole mistakes that were in the game.
True too.
Yeah. But you know what? It's lucky that Penrith won because it would have been worse.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, if it had been at Penrith Stadium, they would have rioted seriously. Because
it would have been good because I accidentally picked the Warriors.
I tipped the Warriors too.
Why?
No, because I thought because they can show some form at times, and I just thought they were.
You keep saying silly things like that.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But you know what? I mean, this try that Naden scored, which was towards the end. If you get the chance to have a look at it, I want you to have a look at the Warriors winger,
right,
who strolls alongside him, waiting for someone to tackle him, doesn't, and then realises I have to run, and far too late.
Right.
You know, I mean, honestly, you watch the winger. He's just strolling. He doesn't even attempt.
That'd be Mamalo probably.
The poor old Warriors. There's just no effort there sometimes, is there?
No, there's not. There's not.
They're like a team full of Darius Boyds.
Well, they've got a lot of talent there, but it just doesn't seem to.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. It's almost like they're going, "Oh, good job, mate. Do it again." You know, instead of saying, "Good job, now I'm going to add to that." You know, that's what a good team does.
Yeah.
But look, when you look what happened before half time, Liam Martin goes off, holding down too long. I think it was for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then 2 minutes before half time, or was it just on the other side of half time?
Just over 3 minutes. Yeah.
Just after half time, with 3 minutes to go in the sin binning, then Joseph Luai, Jerome Luai, and apparently what I heard was, and I didn't see it, but I heard it was that Jared Sutton took his lead from the pocket referee because the pocket referee was so passionate that this was a sin binning that he took the lead from the pocket referee and sent him off.
Right.
And Jimmy Maloney's not the captain, but he kept saying, "I'm the captain, I'm the captain." So it must have been that Tamo
was off at the time. That's right.
And he's saying, "You're not talking to me. I'm the captain."
What he's saying is, you didn't warn me.
Right.
Because the ref was saying, the ref was saying, I warned you, and he said, no, you didn't. But that's because Tamo was off.
Oh, that's just clever, isn't it?
But no, the refs came out a week ago and said you don't have to get a warning.
Yeah.
They don't have to warn you when they're about to send someone off. So. Yeah.
And then Fusatua scores in the corner with his left hand outside the white line.
How that was missed.
That is ridiculous. I mean, I've got to say, I didn't see it until the commentators. I was looking for where his ball hand was and where his knee was and where his foot was. I didn't look at his other hand, but then I think McInnes pointed it out and he said, "I can't believe this. Look at his hand."
Yeah.
But that's why you have 2 or 3 people in the bunker to look at everything, and they didn't see it. It's just ridiculous. So, in a sense, it was poetic justice that Penrith won.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Maloney does it again. He takes hold of a game and he wins it. So,
I can't understand why Penrith are always talking about trying to get rid of him. I don't get it.
He said already that I think this or next year is his last year and he's going to go to England.
Yeah.
Because he knows he'll get a contract.
Jeez.
He'll get a contract at half the other clubs.
But he wants to go to England because he wants to take his family travelling. So he can play over in England.
Would you? I'd believe. You know what? I'd believe that
because he's got himself all organised.
Because I imagine when his contract's up at the Panthers, there'd be clubs that'd go, we'll still take him for another couple of years.
Yeah.
I imagine he'd just go, nah, I'd rather be travelling. See you later.
Mm. Right. That's Jimmy, laconic.
All right, ANZ Stadium, where the Dogs win a game, coming back from, I should say, led Cronulla all the way, 14-12.
Mm. Didn't see that coming.
Well, the one thing you got to give...
Someone did, though. Did you?
No, I didn't think
you didn't.
No.
The one thing you got to give the Dogs is they aren't good, but they never give up the fight.
And we've said that a lot of times, that they're always trying.
And with 20 minutes to go, I was going... Everybody picked the Sharks, so it didn't matter. Yeah. So I was going, please, come on, Dogs, just hang in there, and they did,
What was the score at half-time?
14-0, I think.
Was it still 14-0?
No, 14-8.
I know.
14-8.
Because 3 tries to 2.
Yeah.
But
and no goals.
But Johnson couldn't kick.
And one of those tries should never have been scored because it was a knock-on anyway.
That's right. Yeah.
So...
but even so they go to 14 points up, and I'm still going, it's the Dogs, the Sharks will come back.
Yeah.
They come back, they score a try, they score another try, 14-8, I'm going, it's alright, it's the Sharks, they'll come back.
And they didn't.
They didn't.
And if Foreign had stayed on the field, they might have put on some more points.
Yeah, I know.
Really good.
Well, and that was the thing I noticed, that once they got to 14, they couldn't seem to do anything else. They couldn't get that next try.
Sure. That's because Forum was off the field. Yeah.
And I kept thinking, you know what? They only need to score another 1 or 2, and they're well in this and can win it. Mm. But Cronulla were that bad.
The Sharks have been the scrappers this all year when they've been down on troops.
Yep.
And they've just showed lots and lots of resilience. Now they've got all their players back. They obviously went to this game going, well, it's a gimme. It's the Dogs, it's a gimme.
We're playing last place. We'll knock these guys over.
Yeah.
But maybe they're going to Bali as well. I don't know, maybe. Mm. Did you see Jack Williams running? He picked up the ball about 90 metres from home, and man, he had some pace. He was run down by a couple of speedsters, but just for a big man, he had some pace on him.
Certainly did.
Yeah. But there was also a time when, was that the one? There was another one towards the end where Cronulla made a break, and they got up to play the ball, and they just looked lost. Mm. All they had to do was spread it.
That was Sean Johnson. Yeah, he was supposed to have kicked the ball, and he ran the ball because he was going to do something spectacular, and he just got tackled.
Yeah,
with 10 seconds to go.
They just didn't look like Anyway,
and John Morris was cranky pants for a change.
He's hammered them. Yeah. Very much so. Okay, one of you gentlemen would like to do the ladder for us, please.
I'll do it unless you want to do it.
No, you do it. I just was hoping the buys would be updated.
The buys?
No, that won't happen to the end of the
I know.
Okay, first place the Storm, 6 points clear of the Rabbitohs and Roosters in second and third on 20 points.
Rabbitohs got a bye.
And the Rabbitohs have got a bye, so they'll move ahead. It depends if we win.
If you win, it doesn't matter.
Three teams on 18 points. The Raiders, followed by the Knights, and then the Seagulls. Rounding out the 8 is the Sharks and the Eels. Also on 16 points, just outside of the 8 of the West Tigers. We have two teams on 14 points. The Dragons and Panthers in 10th and 11th. The Warriors, Cowboys and Broncos in 12, 13, 14. Titans in 15, and the Dogs, undeservedly, I think, in last place. And we have 3 Queensland teams in the bottom 4.
That's good to see.
Whoopee.
Yes, and New Zealand. New Zealand's sitting 1.1 spot above.
Look, I'm ambivalent about the Warriors, but the Queensland teams in the bottom 4, that's just precious.
If we just add Melbourne to last place, I'd be a happy man.
So would I.
Yeah, well, I'll see in 2057.
So
when Craig Bellamy finally retires.
Yeah.
So Steve, you a few weeks ago said there is no chance the top 8 is sealed. The Dragons and the Tigers can't make the 8. They're currently sitting equal points
Hang on.
for the 8.
Did I actually say that?
Yep.
Or did I say that any team can possibly make the 8?
No, you said the Dragons were gone, and I defended them, and then they lost again the next week, and I went, maybe you were right.
Well, on current form, I
Okay.
think the Panthers
Well,
are
let
probably
me ask
the
you a question. So you're attacking me because of that. Let me ask the question. Who's coming out of the top 8 to put St George in it?
Sharks.
Yep. Sharks on
Sharks.
current form.
Sharks and Parramatta.
Yeah. Para, I'm not sure. I reckon the Panthers will get that 8th spot. I think they're going to win enough games.
I think that the top 6 teams will go through.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I agree.
6. So you think down to Manly,
Yep.
and then Cronulla, Parramatta, West
Tigers
Tigers on
and Dragons
16.
and
So
Panthers.
Dragons are still,
One win off that.
well, 1 win and a lot of points. So technically they're 2 wins off it when you take into their for and against as well.
Yep.
Which is minus 54, which is the thing that's going to burn them.
The Panthers are minus 93.
93. Yeah.
And
But they're again below them even.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the teams that are then above St George.
Yeah.
So you got to remember,
Yeah.
the 2 West Tigers, but when you take into consideration that St George are minus 54 and Parramatta are 11,
Yeah. Well, the Panthers have
there's
got
65 points difference.
Panthers got a 100-point differential with the Sharks, and 1 game. So that's a telling statistic.
Either way, I still think that there's only a few clubs that are out of it. Warriors, all the Queensland teams, and the Dogs.
Whereas all the Queensland
I think you're
teams
right.
are Dogs.
Yeah. I think
No.
the Panthers are showing that they could make the 8.
And
All
if
right.
they could make the 8, so could the Dragons. That's all I'm saying.
And so you're confident that Manly will be there?
I am now, yeah.
Unless you have a run of injuries again, I think you will.
Oh, that's all right. I'm quite confident even if we get injuries. We've had them all year.
All right, let's go on to round 16, gentlemen, where St George Illawarra on Thursday night are playing the Melbourne Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody...
And remember too that this is a rep round affected round.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But...
No. Here I was.
So Dragons
See, here I was going, go the Dragons, you can do it.
The Dragons are without the halves, both their halves.
Yeah.
They'll be without Tarek Sims either way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Who else are they going to be? Ben Hunt's a half.
So
Yeah.
potentially they could drop even further behind than what you were just saying right now.
Frizzell, they're going to be missing Frizzell.
Hunt, Norman, Frizzell, and what's his name? Sims.
And Storm will be missing
Munster.
Chambers, Welch,
Adokar.
Adokar,
Kafusi.
Kafusi.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still
But the
love
Storm
him.
will just bring up 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Who'll just run the house down.
I know, because Cameron Smith can tell them what to do.
Pappenhausen will have another spectacular game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tigers are so happy they let him go, aren't they? Have you ever seen a bloke quicker? Like, look,
No,
I know.
Well, Adokar's quicker.
I know that, but they say that.
I know.
But I'm telling you, in that clear, that try that he scored last week, I was just like, wow, the guy is fast. I was watching him run. He's fast.
Apparently, the Storm offered him to a number of teams late last year, and no
Really?
one took him up.
Really?
Well, but they had Scott Drinkwater.
Yeah,
then
that's right. They were
Drinkwater
trying to do the right thing by the kid and find him a club.
Sure.
Nobody took him up.
Drinkwater got injured. He took his opportunity. Now Drinkwater's gone.
Yep.
Far out.
Yep.
So,
That means Scott Drinkwater must have a bit of ability.
so you're going to George.
No. No, but
Yeah.
Tom, you're going.
Unfortunately, I have to go to the Storm.
Yeah, I'll be going to Storm as well.
well, there you go. Three of us all agreeing that's unusual.
By how much?
Reluctantly.
No, no. What did I say last week in the first game? I'll go the Bunnies. They'll win by 18.
Six. I reckon they'll win by
Yeah, I think 6 or 7. All right, let's go on to Bankwest Stadium Ice Rink, where West Tigers are playing Sydney Roosters.
He likes these names, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he does, doesn't he?
Sandcastle.
Yeah.
Look, it's going to be a tough game because the Roosters will be missing Cordner, Tedesco. Tedesco.
Go through all your injuries like you do every week.
No state of origin.
Go through it. Yeah, but you go through your injuries every week
No.
like no team's got injuries except for us.
Man will play at fullback again. He'll have another
Is
spectacular
Kiri going to
game.
be back?
Yes, Kiri will be back. JWH will be back. I'm on the Roosters.
Well, you would be anyway.
Latrell will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie Farrow with his
Yeah.
one eye will be there.
Yeah. And I hope Michael
And you'll
Cheekham.
find his other one
I
lying on
hope,
the
I
ground
hope Michael
somewhere.
Cheekham gets injured.
I'm tempted to go to the Tigers, but I'm going to back the Roosters to break their losing streak. Don't remember, they've lost like 5 in a row.
4 out
now,
of
Tom.
5. 4 out of
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only beat the Dogs.
It's not a
No
glowing.
Kiri.
It's not a glowing endorsement, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's really not.
And the Tigers have scrapped wins against
Not worried.
Souths last week,
Not
and,
worried.
and they're
Oh
scrapping
yeah, but
wins.
South and Roosters, it's like chalk and cheese. My goodness, seriously.
Whew. Final words.
All right, actually, you
Who
better
are you
not.
tipping?
Look, I'll be going Roosters.
That must pain you to say that.
No, there's
It does.
no inkling of Tigers winning that one.
No.
Interesting.
No. Sorry.
I still may pick the Tigers. I just
and I
got
would
a feeling.
encourage you to do that.
Are we
given
missing
that you're
in
on
by?
top of the-
Nobody else. Oh no.
Yeah, I just got a feeling.
Okay.
Anyway.
Madison
Hey.
isn't on the extended squad, is he?
No.
While I will be picking the Roosters, I'll be cheering for the Tigers.
It's just illogical, isn't it? Seriously.
Hey, you tell me you weren't cheering for the Tigers last
Oh
week.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you
yeah.
very much.
Oh,
And I tipped
wasn't.
them too. The only person in the tipping comp who tipped the Tigers.
Okay, let's go to McDonald Jones Stadium where the Newcastle Knights are playing the New Zealand Warriors.
At McDonald Jones Stadium, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Knights.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got to go that way too. And PointsBet Stadium where Cronulla Sharks are playing the Brisbane Broncos. Who will be the better loser in this one?
Yeah, that's what it's a bit like, isn't it?
Which one do you want?
The Sharks
wants to
will
lose
be.
most?
The Sharks will have a rocket up them. Honestly.
And because the Broncos will also be missing some players.
Yeah, and the Broncos they just lost their way. The Sharks will have a rocket up them, and they'll see this as an opportunity to make a statement, and they will.
Do you think the Broncos' issues is Anthony Seibold?
Oh, I think it's a coaching philosophy that that they're dealing with. Yeah. I think, like I said, I think some coaches.
But is it the coaching philosophy or the players just not buying into it?
Yeah, well, but that's what it is, isn't it? That's part of the philosophy. If you don't buy into
I'm
it,
just wondering if he just hasn't got the players to do what he wants to do.
And did the Bunnies make him look good last year because they had he had a superstar team,
Yeah.
you know, and so
I really feel for him. I truly do.
it's hard.
As much as I was dirty on him
For all
leaving
the pressure,
South,
for all the pressure,
yeah.
it's not easy. Yeah. So by teams,
Yeah, so by teams.
by
So
teams.
Canberra, Dogs, Gold Coast Titans, Manly, North Queensland, Parramatta, Penrith and the Bunnies all have buys
rest and recuperate.
Mm-hmm.
for the run to the end.
Yes, that's right. Our teams will be fresh.
Yes.
And if the Roosters can make it 5 losses in 6 games, wow, that'd be interesting.
Okay. Now, gentlemen, I have some sad news.
Mm.
We have some sad news that we have to share with everybody.
Yes.
So, this will sadly be the last show for the next few weeks.
Just
Okay?
1 or 2.
Well,
he's away for three Mondays.
I'm away for 3 weeks.
Mm.
So I might even try and do some reporting from the US.
Yep.
which will be interesting because I won't be able to see a game. But I have to go to the US for about 3 weeks.
And he's working.
With his family at
No.
Disneyland.
In Vegas.
No, the family's not going this time. I have to go to work in Disneyland. I have to go over to Utah.
Which means there won't be much working going on.
So, sadly, that means I'm flying out this Saturday. So we won't have a show next week.
Definitely not next week.
No.
We won't probably have a show
unfortunately.
the week after. Now, I don't get back in until the 26th,
What day of the week is that?
Friday. So, honestly, we're probably looking at, unless you guys are going to run a show, we're going to be without for 3 weeks.
We
We'll
might.
see how we go.
I can't do 3
We
weeks.
just don't do the technology very well. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, I don't do the technology at all. I'm a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Troglodyte.
We know that.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
All right. So, but you can be active on Facebook. Feel free to put your tips up on Facebook. We're going to put our tips on Facebook, aren't we?
Yeah, you love doing that.
We have to because we need to keep.
Yeah, we want to keep the flow going.
We just had all these new members join. Thank you, new members. You know what? We should have a roll call. When new members come on, we should welcome them.
We should.
Yeah, so I tell you what, in 3 weeks' time, all the new members, we're going to welcome you.
Well, let's welcome everybody,
Yes,
and then we'll start the new ones from that point.
sure.
All right.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. It's the end of the show. We're saying welcome.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're not sure what's going to happen for the next few weeks. So, look, given the way these guys handle technology, it's probably not going to happen. So, wait till I get back. Brian, anything intelligent you want to add before we close?
Only that the winner's circle is very small and very sweet.
And you two can't lose this week.
That's right.
So does that mean we're both in the winner's circle next
So you
week?
must be breathing easy.
No, not really.
Not that you can't have another
No,
loss.
I'm really disappointed we didn't beat the Tigers because that then makes it worthwhile.
You want to carry
for
that
the
momentum forward, yeah.
Sure.
Because then we got the Manly Chooks in a couple of weeks' time. And I'll be away for it.
Yeah. So you can bag him out as much as you like.
No, there won't be a show for him to bag me out, so it's okay.
That's why we've got to do the show.
Tom, anything you want to add before we go?
No, well, the Roosters will be going hard this Friday night, and I'm hoping to get to the game with Bren. Bren, I'm hoping we're going to the game.
Okay.
Bankwest Stadium. It'll be good to see what it's like.
Take your ice skates, you'll be fine. Okay, thank you all for joining. This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve, and we will do it all again in about 3 weeks. See you later, bye-bye.
So, yeah.